Hello, Awakened Beauties. Finally, it's here. The truth to empower women to true inner beauty through healthy biology. And now, here is your hostess, Cassandra Keel, your organic beauty and CBD mentor, helping you stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back. Sponsored by EvokeBeauty.com.
Welcome to the Awaken Beauty podcast. I am Cassandra, your organic beauty, your positive mind management and endocannabinoid system mentor. And today we have a mini series on a subject that I love and one that I know well, and that's CBD and skincare. Does it work? Does it not work? There's a whole host of confusion. And today we're going to get down to the nitty gritty of the science of it and how we want to shop and make sure that we're buying what we see on a product if it says hemp skincare. Starting off, we have this abundant system called the endocannabinoid system. And in fact, it's larger than the endocrine system. It's actually larger than our immune system. And it helps all of these systems as kind of the key coordinator to keep this beautiful symphony moving along in its most beautiful homeostatic way. And that's when we're at our healthiest. So stress comes in and it kind of wants to break down our body's system. Specifically within the body, we have these enzymes. And what CBD does is it actually goes and blocks these enzymes that want to take away our own endocannabinoids in our body. There's this whole correlation between our lifestyle and our environment and our inner state of stress that helps us understand why we would maybe want to turn to cannabis or CBD to even put on our skin topically and how it can help. Now, anti-aging, let's start there. It's more than what you put on your face. And there's a whole list of factors that go into a healthy, balanced skin, including our genetics, our overall health, and our pollutants and our environment, and our diet. So in fact, epigenetic studies now show that 80% of our health is actually influenced by our lifestyle and our environment that's directly around us. And that only leaves that rest of 20% or less to our genetic genes, how we're encoded. So that means we have incredible power over the influence of our internal and external beauty. So when that 80% is broken down or not working efficiently, we manifest what we call dis-ease. And many times it's reflective in our skin. It could be immune disorder causing psoriasis or eczema, or it could just be a zit caused from cytokines from stress induction. So many of our health issues as a society today are now being linked to what we call an endocannabinoid deficiency. And this was first keyed by Ethan Russo back in, I believe, the 90s. And these symptoms can manifest, as I've said, from skin issue to anxiety, sleep issues to cancer. And so when we bring it back to our lifestyle and our endocannabinoid system, this largest regulatory system in the body, we can help it in a number of ways. It can be help with better sleep, efficient exercise, good nutrition, but recently, we've been really looking at the efficacy of phytocannabinoids, which are found from the plant cannabis, also known as a gene type hemp. We know it helps the internal body. So let's really talk about how about our skin. And today we're focusing only on CBD cannabinoids that are from phytocannabinoids. And they're really known as a potent antioxidant. And when they're used topically, it's an easy, low commitment way to bring these phytocannabinoids into a supportive lifestyle with our skin routine. So first, let's go back and understand the magnitude of what the endocannabinoid system is. So just like our endocrine, immune, and digestive system, we all have one. The ECS is what we call it for short, and it's also known as the master controller. We make these endocannabinoids in our body, and the problems, when left unsupported, arise in our endocannabinoid system. So these key two players are phytocannabinoids, which is what we get from the plant. And researchers have identified over 113, I think maybe even more cannabinoids in cannabis, which show a myriad of therapeutic effects like decreasing pain and nausea from anxiety to inflammation. And these two key star players as far as cannabinoids and phytocannabinoids are CBD, which is an important compound that interacts with the endocannabinoid system. The CB2 and TRPV1 receptors, they actually don't bind unless THC is there with them. And it functions as an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic for the skin. And then THC is a compound that binds to our body's endocannabinoid receptors, CB1 and CB2, and it functions more of like a natural pain reliever. It's also anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor. There's all these benefits to THC as well. But remember, that is the component that does make you high. And then lastly, there's another key player in the plant that's called terpenes. And these are basically, you've heard of them because we all know of all the essential oil companies, but they're the building blocks of essential oils. These are aromatic kind of like hydrocarbons, and these are responsible for what gives the plant that really beautiful scent of lemon or calming scent of linalool, which would be lavender. And they also play this incredible synergistic effect, aiding cannabis and CBD and THC when coupled with the skin and the cell receptors. Okay. There's this cascade of different minor cannabinoids that we can go in deeper, but we'll save that for another episode because today we're here to talk about CBD and skin. And I basically say, CBD is kind of the new skin whisperer in town as far as anti-aging, but is it really? And so yes and no. The endocannabinoid system is actually really critical to the life cycle of skin. And we have what we call basal cells in our skin. And the endocannabinoid system within the skin is about 90% of the cells in the epidermis. And so the endocannabinoid system is critical because it runs this system. So going back to keeping the endocannabinoid system in good health is really, really critical. Many chronic skin conditions such as eczema, psoriasis, more advanced acneic skin are caused by the underlying root of inflammation. And CBD has been proven to reduce this inflammation and calm the skin. So there's a plethora of hemp products on the market when it comes to topicals. So I just want to tell you right here, right now, as a formulator for evokebeauty.com, my URL. How about that? For Evoke Beauty. I've been formulating for over 15 years. And one of the key things is you want to make sure is how it's formulated. And then it biomedically helps support the neuroendocrine system so that it has these same like-minded compounds on the skin so that the skin can actually communicate and interact with what you're putting on it. It's pivotal for the skin's fundamental layers to be able to support the building blocks, to rejuvenate and to repair itself. But if it can't really read or if it's a chemical, it's certainly not going to help if you're buying a CBD product with chemicals in it to try to repair the skin. You also want to be aware of the fact that hemp, whether you're getting a product from hemp or cannabis, as in marijuana plant, it's a remedial plant and it actually is bred to soak up pesticides and other toxins in the soil. So currently in unregulated industry, there's known to be over 70% of cannabidiol extracts sold online are actually mislabeled. So just an FYI right there as well. All right, ladies, if you're looking for natural, organic, solution-based beauty and superior CBD, go to evokebeauty.com. That's evoqbeauty.com and receive 25% off your very first order with the code AWAKEN. Again, that's evoqbeauty.com. Type in the code AWAKEN for 25% off your first order. So how about the difference between CBD versus hemp seed oil? Well, hemp oil contains CBD. The concentration of the amounts actually really vary. And hemp oil is made to be extracted from hemp seed, contains little CBD. It's important to understand this because the oil is extracted from a part of the plant that only kind of breaks open the hemp part and actually is just hemp oil. And the extraction from the seed of the hemp plant are similar to avocado or coconut seed oil. It's also a strong antioxidant. It has abundant amino acids, omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, and vitamin E. So it's great for the hair and skin in itself as far as a fatty lipid, but it is not CBD. It contains little to no trace amounts of cannabinoids, and it does not have any therapeutic benefits that CBD brings to the table. So what do you want to look for? Industrial hemp oil, hemp seed oil, cannabis seed oil, which is kind of tricky because cannabis seed oil or cannabis sativa seed oil is actually just hemp-based. So hemp-based oil, it is actually, when we're looking for the CBD-based oil, it's extracted from the entire hemp plant, meaning the leaf, the flowers, the seed, the stalk, and it has high concentrations of CBD and other trace amounts of minor cannabinoids and some THC. And to be sold across the state lines, it must contain less than 0.03%. Now, where do we get that number? Well, the regulatory industry just kind of came up with it out of the blue. So that's what we have to follow. But it has a host of benefits, including sleep support, stress management, and when applied topically, relief for pain. And it has really incredible anti-inflammatory effects, which where does aging come from? Inflammation. But it does not have the intoxicating effects like THC, and it cannot get you high. So what do you look for? Get your pens because you want to look for CBD oil. You want to look for cannabidiol. You want to look for activated cannabidiol, hemp extract, full spectrum hemp extract oil, and phytocannabinoids on a label. So how does cannabidiol act as a therapeutic agent for skin health? The skin's endocannabinoid system, somewhat already mentioned, it contains this complex biochemical network of receptors and small molecules that continually kind of survey the land and respond to inputs. And it modifies its reactions of the cells to react to the incoming information. So there's this beautiful communication system in the body and in our skin. And so the skin's endocannabinoid system, its inner and outer cannabinoids, can act on numerous receptor sites to promote skin health. We've already noted that the skin's ECS is filled with CB2 receptors, which helps to regulate the production of various hormones and proteins, including cytokines. And this is important because cytokines are involved in the immune response, the sensory response, and the homeostasis and the inflammation response that happen within the skin. And it helps downregulate those and keep them in check. Cannabinoid receptors, there's CB1 and CB2. There's also TRPV1, TRPA1, and TRPV4. Now, it's a little bit geeky, but they're all present in multiple cell types in the human skin. And that can be built in our fibroblasts, to our keratinoid sites, to our immune cells. We have neurons in our skin. And we also have some cutaneous fat cells in the muscle layers. So it has all these different receptors that lie in all these different beautiful layers that help protect us from the outside world in our skin. And when the biome, this external health of the skin, is constantly triggered, whether from chemicals or from stress, from the cytokines that we've talked about internally on the skin, we lose this skin homeostasis, which then leads to disorders such as acne, dermatitis, itchy skin, even pain. And we've already mentioned psoriasis, and also excessive and the loss of hair, which is pretty interesting that it also actually, if it helps the fibroblasts, it also helps hair growth. So how it affects each layer of the skin, I won't go too much into, and I'll leave in the show notes at the epidermis, the sebaceous glands, the hair follicle, the dermatitis, and then the fibrosis in the dermal layers has very specific interaction. But we really want to kind of talk about kind of the three big, I would say, benefits of using CBD and spending the extra money on our skin. And that is, number one is acne. So acne actually occurs due to oil being lodged in the skin along with dirt and dead skin cells and bacteria, and actually clogs the pores, causing this inflamed blemish on the skin. So results and studies show that CBD actually inhibits lipid synthesis, meaning limiting the amount of sebum your skin produces. And how does this occur? Well, acne involves this overproduction, as we've talked about, of the sebum, the oil, the lipids with the sebaceous glands. And these lipids perform a number of functions, such as creating a barrier on our skin. Thank you very much. Keeping it plump and full and beautiful anti-aging skin, to keep the bacteria and viruses also out, and working as this lubricant and waterproof benefit to our hair and skin. The lipid production plays a critical role in both acne overproduction and eczema underproduction, because eczema is dry skin. And cannabinoids also, in essence, turn the oil production up and then turn it down when we need to be in its most healthiest state. So basically, pimples are infections, and it's best to treat them as such. So the anti-inflammatory properties of CBD and controlling the acneic skin, whether it's the oil and lipid production or even bacterial infections, keeps it at bay. So one important thing to note here is that if it is indeed an antibiotic and antimicrobial property like compound, the overabundance of drug-resistant bacteria from using different things like antiseptics on our skin, whether you're at a hospital, this is a whole threat to our biome right now. This is really, really evident that CBD can actually help keep a healthy biome on the skin and help us if we do get a staph infection or an antibiotic-resistant superbug, that using CBD might be able to help us in that. And then next is anti-aging. And this will be the last one. And it kind of composes three different pieces within anti-aging, because really aging, we are about pro-aging at Evoke Beauty and on the Awaken Beauty podcast. And anti-aging really is just chronic inflammation. It's a result in premature skin aging. And inflammation is really just this natural immune response necessary for recovery. So when it's kept in check, CBD, the compound of cannabis and hemp, help modulate the neuroimmune receptors to achieve this balance of inflammation. The next is moisture balance, which we've also touched in acneic skin, and it's essential for skin aging because the overproduction causes the inflammation and increases the risk of infection and acne, and it erodes the skin. And we actually then end up with this like natural protective barrier breaking down, and we actually call that leaky skin syndrome, not just leaky gut. And these cannabinoids solve both issues by balancing that oil production in the sebaceous glands. And then lastly is apoptosis. And basically what this means is it's programmed cell death. And without the influx of cells always dying and making anew, we wouldn't have this beautiful, abundant skin refreshing and being bright and plump like we want it to be if it's not functioning optimally with apoptosis. So we do need our cells to die. It's a healthy rule of life. It's also a rule of skin. And cannabinoids help regulate the apoptosis, ensuring that we have this proper diversity of healthy skin cells repopulating at all times. So some other atopic skin ailments that cannabidiol may help with would be bug bites, bacterial infections, burns, UV damage, cuts and scrapes, itchy skin, and just general skin infections. All right, ladies, if you're looking for healthy hair, beautiful skin, and a calm, quiet, clean, collected, powerful mind with superior CBD, go to evokebeauty.com. That's EVOQbeauty.com. And you'll receive 25% off your very first order with the code AWAKEN. Again, that's EVOQbeauty.com. Use the code AWAKEN for 25% off your first order. So lastly, the inner biology connection to our inner skin, the ECS, which I began with, is so responsible for this beautiful euphoric feeling of bliss, happiness, not anxiety, depression, and lack of sleep. And if we are able to help create this inner health within our body, it also helps the outer health of our skin. Now, application options are minimal, but it's pretty easy to understand. And you want to make sure you're looking for something that's bioavailable and safe. And there's a lot of active ingredients in products, but one of the things that you want to look for, and specifically in the Evoke products that I formulate, we have high actives. We don't try to kind of fake any kind of throw it at the bottom of the list and it's got that in it. We really are conscientious of creating the therapeutic effects in the product that it needs to make a difference on the skin. So just like CBD, an ingredient placing on the ingredient list can give you a good indication of what is included and how much. So although companies often omit the percentage of active ingredients for reasons of quote unquote trade secrets, the FDA does require them to list them from highest to lowest. So that's where you want to look for your actives and what you're looking for. So if you're looking for brightening agents, you want vitamin C at the top, not at a toxic level where it's going to burn your skin, but you want to be conscientious. So just make sure to check to ensure that these active ingredients that you're paying for appear near the top of the list and not the second half and the bottom, because that can make all the difference. So the other pieces are the desired ingredients in the right type of base carrier to do its job. So this is where inactive ingredients come into play. So those inactive ingredients can include water, oil, stabilizers, emulsifiers, thickeners, and even preservatives, just to name a few. So inactive ingredients don't exert a specific action on the skin. We do need them in a lot of products, and they do help perform, and they also can overdilute products' effectiveness. So moving on, can the ingredients really reach the epidermal layer where it's most effective? And this is a big one. The molecular size, the weight of the molecules, the compounds, and the active ingredients both play a really crucial role, whether it's actually reaching the targeted cells. Now, it's a topical product. It's not made to get into our bloodstream unless you're taking a transdermal. But if the too large of compounds, such as for instance, coconut oil, you want to go back to my mini episode on coconut oil and the fact that it's 90% saturated fat. So it sits on the skin like a lubricant and doesn't get into the skin. And so what that means is that all the other constituents around it most likely won't be able to get onto and into the skin to help the skin do its job and what you're wanting from that product. The other piece is penetrators via chemicals and nanoproducts. If they're coupled with toxic ingredients, this can be really dangerous. And other natural compounds like terpenes, which are essential oils, can also help synergize and assist the penetration of the skin. So really you want to look at how is the product made. And then lastly, cream or lotion or a salve or an ointment. These are probably the easiest ways that you can put CBD topically on the skin. And creams and lotions tend to have a higher concentration of water, and this allows them to basically spread over the skin a little bit easier and more quickly be absorbed. Whereas an ointment or an embalm, as you can imagine, have higher concentrations of oil. So it makes them linger on the skin longer so that the CBD absorb more slowly over that fragment of time that you're needing pain reduction, you name it. So really it just depends on what are your key benefits and goals that you're wanting to get from a CBD produced products. Now, I can tell you that there's a whole wealth of knowledge coming out on topicals. For instance, we're working with a company from Oregon and we're working with raw terpenes and raw cannabidiol. And so these products these raw states of cannabinoids create this incredible anti-inflammatory effect on the skin coupled with other fatty acids that help kind of seduce it down into the skin deeper, because the terpenes actually help as something that helps kind of drive the geese, kind of like the geese at the front of the pack. It helps as a driver get these other ingredients synergistically to move and work together, which is a beautiful thing. So we're just at the crux of understanding topicals. Studies have revealed that you need over 200 milligrams per ounce to even have an effect on pain management of the skin. And anything under 20 milligrams really don't do anything at all. So if a product says, we've got 100 milligrams in a high-powered advanced CBD oil, massage oil for pain, chances are you're probably not going to get too much of a therapeutic effect from that product. So do your research, make sure that the product is organic, understand the other compounds in the product that you're wanting to get those key benefits from. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. We do formulate and produce cannabis and CBD topicals. We have been for 2 years, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you will have. And thank you again for listening to the Awaken Beauty podcast. If you want to search for trusted, viable, high efficacy products that are organic, food grade, head over to evoquebeauty.com. That's evoquebeauty.com. Use the word awaken and get 25% off your first purchase. So this is Cassandra, your Awaken Beauty and organic beauty and positive mind management and endocannabinoid system mentor. But really, I'm just here to love you up, share information with you so you can share it with others. Like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, and share what you learned on this episode. Reach out if you have any questions and DM me at Awaken Beauty HQ on Instagram. And until next time, stay sane, get sleep, and get your sexy back.
Hello, Awaken Beauties. Thank you for joining Cassandra today. Were you inspired to bring your sexy back? Please like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Interested in high-quality natural products for your hair, skin, and wellness? Please visit evoquebeauty.com. Again, that's evoquebeauty.com. evoquebeauty.com. Until next time, stay sane, get sleep, and bring your sexy back.